doing great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion. Welcome back to the Immigration Answers Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 769 of the Immigration Answers Show. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday. Good to have all of you with us. We're excited. If you're new to the community, let us know in the comments where you're from or what you got going on immigration-wise. We love to hear where people are watching the show from, either on TikTok or on YouTube. We have Morocco in the house. Hello. We got Tafif is here. Hello, Tafif. Kimberly's wanting to get on the show with me. We got Ahuv is new here. Tyrone says hello to everybody. Bart is asking if I can talk about the parole in place program again, or the parole program, and how we're going to file a lawsuit to challenge some of the things going on. Remember, if you're in the waiting room, don't use your real name. Talk to us about your friend, your colleagues. The studio was full an hour and a half before the show started. So if you're not texting the word show to 314-470-3300, if you're not texting that show, you're most likely not going to get into the waiting room. The waiting room is filled up. I have to sign up. I have to get into the waiting room right when we set it up. So it's sort of crazy. All right. Let's go ahead and get started and talk first to Maria. Hello. Hello, Maria.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Jim. Jim, where do I begin? Okay, this is my story that I'm a non-immigrant visa candidate for J2 visa. I'm basically from Pakistan.
Okay, hold on. Take a deep breath and talk a little slower, okay?
Okay.
Start over, please. You're a J2 visa holder?
J2.
Got it.
J exchange visa. I'm the spouse of a J1 physician, and we got married on November 27th, 2023, back in Pakistan. So when I got my documentation and I received my J2 dependent DS 2019 back in January 2024. And I had my interview. I actually scheduled, and I got my first interview for J2 visa on February 15th, 2024. But that didn't go well. The visa officer asked me if I had a prior visa, to which I said yes, I had it, but I didn't. I just couldn't travel to USA because of I had to make arrangements for my wedding. And it was a 6-month visa, a B1, B2 visa. And so I had to, and I had it to take my exam. I'm a physician as well. So, and the next question.
Why did you apply for a visit visa if you weren't going to be able to use it?
No, actually, due to COVID, there's a long backlog in U.S. Embassy in Pakistan, because of which, when I applied for visa, I didn't know when I'm going to get married, and there was no such thing happening in my life. Okay.
So then,
in our culture.
So okay, it's okay. So then, at the J2 interview, they ask you about your B1, B2 visa, and you tell them that you got it, but you didn't use it. And then what happened at the J2 interview?
And then I told him that the reason I didn't use it because in my DS 160 of B1 B2 I had written that I'm single and I'm unmarried, while after getting the visa it was an arranged marriage, and it's very normal in our culture. So I had to I was busy with the wedding preparations, and
Okay, well, what happened? I want to hear about the visa interview. So what? So you tell the officer that you got married. So what's the problem? Try to get to the problem so I can help you.
Okay, I told him that I didn't use it because of the change in my background information, and I had been advised that it's risky if I travel to where my husband lives. If I land on that airport or where he lives, while I have mentioned something else on my DS-160. So I need to update that information. That's why it's safe that I disclose my updated information to the consulate and apply for a J2. So on my J2, the first question he asked was about my prior visa. And the second question he asked me was, when did I get married? To which I told him the date, which is November 27, 2023. And afterwards, he said he handed me out a 214 B denial,
Okay.
which was quite generic. I mean, he didn't specify what exactly did he thought of my application and what was that about. I was able.
That's not unusual. They don't have to.
Okay. But then I rescheduled, and the earliest date I could get was on February 13th, 2025.
For a second interview on the J2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Around 11 days ago. I had my interview 11 days ago.
Okay. What happened?
So when I went to the window, the first question I get asked is, why have you applied for the same visa on the same dates, while you know that your previous visa was rejected because your DS 2019 has just 4 months till its expiry. I told the visa officer this is the date that was available on the calendar. This was the earliest date that was available on the calendar. So she goes like, okay. And after seeing my marriage certificate and all of the documents, and after some time, she asked me if I have a copy of my husband's J1 visa. The thing is, he, as per the law and the immigration, and as far as like we would look up, and after being thorough, we couldn't find it mentioned anywhere on the state government website that in order for a J1 to sponsor his spouse, he needs a valid visa. It was only required that he needs to have a legal J1 status.
Where is he?
He's in US. He is doing his training. He's doing his training in Mississippi.
And his J1 has expired?
A J1 visa has expired, but his status is legal. As per his I-94 and DS 2019.
Okay, so what's the question for me?
She handed me she put me on hold. She put me on administrative processing under 221G and asked me to upload documents and asked me to upload his valid visa. So my question is, can I appeal against it? And I mean, tell them that it's nowhere mentioned that I need to have a visa, or should my husband get a new visa, and then I should send them a copy of his visa?
I don't think they want to let you come to the United States. They don't like it when they give you a visa and you don't use it. That really pisses them off. So for whatever reason, they've decided that they don't want to give you a J2. So in answer to your question, there's not a way to appeal that.
But thing is, if I could travel, I actually gave it a second thought that I should travel to US after getting married. Okay, let's move. But my visa was my B1 B2 expired, It was about to it had a limit for 6 months. I got it in July, on 7th July, and it expired on 9th January
Okay.
2023.
Okay.
And after getting married, I did plan to travel to US in December, but then I just didn't. I was told that having just 1 month left on the visa, I might get I might be stopped by the border and by the immigration officers
Sure.
for traveling so late.
Sure. All right. Well, did you have any other questions for me?
What should I do? Should my husband get a new visa? Will that help? Um, or what should I do? Should
I don't
I
know.
just
I wouldn't
should,
suggest. I wouldn't recommend him leaving the United States to come get a visa. They might not let him in either.
and he's actually in a 4-year program, and he is 2 years into his program now, and he will get his DS renewed um, in somewhere in May or June. So he's going to get a new DS for the next year, which will be valid until June 30th, 2025.
So he's gonna
Should
come back and get a stamp in his passport.
should he do that? Will that help my case?
I think it might help your case, but I think they might not let him come back. That'd be my concern.
Okay. How should I let them understand that I did it all in good faith? I didn't just ruin a chance or disrespect the opportunity they were handing out to me. It was just that I would just not have been able to, um, do the right thing. Make the
I think you've tried to explain it to them and they don't like your answer. I don't think they're going to let you come to the United States.
Mhm.
Good luck, Maria. All right, all right. We will go over to Wanika. Hello, Wanika.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm good. Hi. So, we spoke before, and I didn't get your answer. We were disconnected before you answered or while you were answering my question.
Okay.
So, my husband got some tickets. He got a car seat ticket. My daughter wasn't in a booster seat.
Yeah.
But she had on a seatbelt. He got a ticket for not having a driver's license, and he got a ticket for bad registration. So that's what he got pulled over for. We fixed the registration. And I need to know how to get those other tickets fixed so that they don't affect his immigration case for his interview.
What state are you in?
Missouri.
So just find a traffic attorney to help you get those amended or pay the fine and move on. None of that's going to keep him from getting his green card.
You don't think so? So another attorney previously told me that child ticket could come into play if they wanted to use it.
No, I don't.
Just
very unlikely.
Pay the tickets and move on.
Well, I would try, as I mentioned when we got cut off, I would try to get them all consolidated into one charge and say, hey, can I pay a bigger fine and just plead guilty to the bad registration and get the other ones dismissed? That's what your attorney should be doing for you.
That's what I want to happen. Okay, you're the best. I appreciate you and thank you very much.
Good luck, Anika. See ya. All right. I did a podcast today with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, of which we've been a member since 2013. And when the conversation was over, she kept wondering if we were going to have to cut stuff out because I went on some of my rants, right? And she said, that was one of the spiciest interviews we've ever had on here. I like that. Spicy. At our house, we always laugh about on Better Call Saul when Gus said, have you tried our new Spice Girls? That's a big joke at our house. Ann Schul is here. Hello.
Hi, thanks for letting me in. I have a question related to my H1B. So, my H1B, like it's renewed. It was expired last September. So, I'm eligible for waiver and I need to travel to my home country and I'll do Dropbox. The problem here is as based on my H1B, my location Suppose my location is A. My W2, my H1B, my LCA, pay stubs, and address in company is based on location A. But since my job was remote, I never lived at that location. Like I stayed at multiple locations. Like I'm working from remotely from last 5 years. Now, since I need to travel, I can't avoid it. I have a fear, like, it might cause some discrepancy. Like it might cause some issue while I return back to the CBP officers.
I think it's likely. I wouldn't say it might. I'd say it's likely.
Okay, so how should I prepare like for that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, what's the explanation? That they should have updated your I-20 your LCA.
Yeah, my company, like first I was not aware about it, and now it's too late since I need to travel
What
like
does that mean? What does that mean? I wasn't aware about it. What does that mean?
I was not aware like LCA will should have my exact location.
That's the whole purpose of the LCA.
Yeah, I mean, I thought like it's remote. So since I talked with my manager, he was not aware of H1B2, and he said you can work from any location since it's remote. You are supposed to work from this time, and you can work anywhere. So that's what I thought. Like I can work remotely, and later I come to know like no location is specific.
So I think there's a chance they might not let you back into the United States. And what are you going to do if they don't let you back into the United States?
Yeah, that's why my question is like how to deal with that situation now.
The way you deal with that situation is you don't leave the United States.
Okay, and file an amendment, or what I was thinking, I can get the driving license uh, from a location A where all the like the location A, like my pay stubs and everything, and I can show that like that's my DL2. Like
You mean like fraud?
no, I mean I have some friends, and based on that I can get DL.
Like fraud? Like that's immigration fraud.
Oh, okay,
Going
okay.
to get a driver's license for a place you don't live in order to cover up the fact that you did not work where you told the government you were going to be working, that's a real problem. All right, let's go over to TikTok and see what we got. Hina's got some posts for me. Omed says, can anyone change their full name in the U.S.? I suppose they can, but if I were anyone going through the immigration process, I would not change my name, even to take on my spouse's last name, until I got my citizenship, until my N400. It's free at that point. Sarah says, can a child benefit like cash assistance affect immigration if I apply for the I-130 spouse visa? My son is a U.S. citizen. I would say probably not, but potentially, because they're going to bring back the public charge. They're going to push back on that. Now, whether a U.S. citizen child getting their benefits is likely to increase the public charge, I doubt, but you always got to be worried about it. And I would ask the question, well, if you're going to sponsor your spouse, then you're most likely going to need a co-sponsor if you're not making enough to support your child. Heard of any problems with K-1 2-year green card holders leaving for a 9-day vacation and then return? In fact, John, I have. I've started hearing stories. Now, they're on TikTok and they're unverified, and I don't know for sure, but I'm hearing what seem to be pretty credible stories about green card holders not being allowed back in the United States. They pulled this same shit at the start of the Trump administration to stoke fear, and I imagine we're going to hear some more stories, which is, again, why I've been telling people not to leave the United States unless you're a citizen. I did say green card holders, but now I would say not even green card holders for the first 6 or 9 months. What is your take on the TPS lawsuits? Do you think they will temporarily stop USCIS? I think they're a stretch. They stopped it last time. I think it's going to be tough. I read over the TPS lawsuit complaint, the one about Venezuela, and I think they're going to be tough, but we'll see. El Campa Chuy. If I have an I-130 approval and I send out my I-601A, how long is the wait time right now? Oh, I think it's over 2 years. Green Hansa Grunwald. Is it true green card holders are not being let in the country? That's what they're saying on TikTok. I don't know. I haven't had anybody in the office tell me that, but I have seen stories on social media. Is there any way to get a work authorization being undocumented? Well, you could apply for asylum, but it's got to be a real fear of going back home. You can't just get a work authorization because you're undocumented. Can a U.S. citizen marry a Kenyan and apply for a B1, B2 visit visa to the United States? Yes, they can, but it's unlikely to be approved because they think they won't be coming just for visit. They think they'll be coming to adjust their status. Gailey is here. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you? This is Gali, and I get married in 2018 June. Apply for adjusted status because I came with a tourist visa. After 3 months, like in the same month, I get married, and I make up adjusted status. And at that time of Corona, they delay a lot and denied, and then delay, and
Wait,
then I file. I
wait,
file.
wait. Why was it denied?
They said because I get a visa for 2 years. Okay, I got tourist visa for 2 years. I didn't use it. I get it in 2016, but I didn't use it until 2018. At that time in 2016, I mentioned that I married, and it's right, it's correct. At that time, I married to my ex-husband, and they said you are divorced 1 month ago, and that's why to get the visa you put you are married. And I said no. Like, she accused me of something that I didn't. It just, she said you said you are married, and at that time I divorced. But at that time, I married and divorced in Saudi Arabia, and for that time they can divorce verbally. Is not like mentioned that I divorce you in the court with the two decision. Like at that time, even women didn't drive the car. At that time, is not allowed to drive a car. So we don't know about divorce. So when she get the decree, she said the divorce certificate mentioned on March, and you apply in June, which is three months you are divorced. But at that time, I didn't know about the divorce until the next year, like from the divorce. I never know about that until the 2017. So at that time, she said like misrepresentation, and I told her if I want to lie, if I need the visa to come in 2016, why I waited 2 years? Like it's about to expire. Before the expiration date, I said let me go and shopping. And at that time, unfortunate, like it's unplanned. The love and the marriage is not unplanned, nothing planned. And then I get married while I'm like a new husband and everything new, and I have baby, and they approved I-130 from the first time. Just they deny at that time I-485. And for a long time, I filed a case against the delay of decision. They keep it pending. Unfortunately, on March 2024, my attorney, he said I will dismiss it to give you status fast. I said, why you want to dismiss it? Like I apply again for the second time for I-485, sorry, 485, yes. And I told the attorney, why you want to dismiss? I want to fight to get my right because they are delay. They thought like maybe we divorce, maybe you divorce. And then they saw another kid, another kid. So I have now 4 kids from my current husband. So during these 7 years, I really suffered from the delay. And I just came to continue my PhD. Is not like even for marriage. I just want to finish. I finished from UK master degree, and I come to study the PhD, and I get married in it's different plan, like a twist. It's happened like suddenly. Uh, what happened next is they said if you dismiss the case, we promise you. They are make decree together. The USCIS a representative and the attorney. They said if she dismissed the case against us that we delay, we can give her the green card fast. And the attorney, I said I don't because I miss my other kids from my ex-husband in overseas in Saudi Arabia. So he said you have to listen to us. I am your attorney, and he did this dismiss without my approval. And then the case is dismissed on August 2023. Unfortunately, till now, the application they have, and every 2 months I call them, and they said it's pending. Next 90 days, next 3 months. Now, my question for you, I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for their decision. But while I waiting, can I file for my daughter in Saudi Arabia, since she is now 16 years and 9 months, or almost 17 years? So can I file her for petition under me or under my U.S. citizen husband?
Your spouse can, you can't.
I can't, correct?
You have no status here.
Yeah, because it's pending.
Have you ever filed for a waiver?
Yes, of course.
What's the status of the waiver?
Uh, Still nothing. Like no, nothing, no answer and nothing. That's why I complain and do that. And they said at that time, why you are like waiting? You can go, you can something. And then they said, file again I-485, and we can make very fast this time. And I filed really in 2023, August. But till now, it's 2024. And they said, you will be late if it's come 2026 March, then you are late. You are still in the time. I said, how? They said, because you apply again in 2023, and now the estimated time almost 2 years.
When did you file for the waiver?
No, the waiver is 2020, 2021.
Did they ever rule on that waiver?
No, nothing. They said we will not. We can't believe the waiver. They said we can't. This is the answer.
Okay.
Like nothing. They couldn't. And I show them the document and everything, and they know about the Saudi Arabia and the things at that time, and everything is clear. And I give her from the court that I didn't attend even the court for the divorce. She can't believe that how husband and wife they are divorced and without they are present at the same time. She couldn't believe that. Like, and I brought her documents from the embassy, from the country where we are, and she couldn't like. She said, "I'm not satisfied with the waiver at that time." And now after that, I asked her to the another one. I told her I need to make court because you make a long time for that. And the attorney, what he said for me, he said it's better to dismiss the case because they didn't accuse me of anything. I accused them. Like I filed the case against them because they are delaying the decision for almost 7 years. And now my daughter, I left her and I couldn't go back. Imagine from 2019 till now, I couldn't come back. Like 6 years, almost 6 years, I couldn't come back.
Did you
Uh,
have any other
yeah,
questions for me?
yeah. My question is, you answered me. I can file only under my husband, even for my mother, because if I want to see my mother, even I can't go until you said to have a status, at least a status. Till now, this status I didn't get. So the last question, he can file for my mother as mother-in-law, or
No,
I have to.
only you can file for your mother once you become a citizen.
U.S. citizen, yeah. Not
Yeah.
even green card. Not even green
Card
card.
holders cannot apply for their parents. Good luck, Allie. I've been having to cut some people off today because their stories have gone on very, very long with not a lot of questions. So let's try to do our best to get to the questions sooner rather than later. AJ asked me to explain what kind of green cards they're stopping. Okay, AJ, here you go. So under President Biden, they expanded humanitarian parole. And specifically, they started 3 different parole programs that had never been in place before. One was the Unity for Ukraine. One was the CHNV for people from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. And the last one is the Keep Families Together. Those are the 3 parole programs. The Trump people don't like that program. They don't like any of those people that got paroled in. They've been saying bad things about all that. And on Valentine's Day, the acting director of USCIS said that we're going to put an administrative pause on all those cases where the beneficiary is currently inside the United States and was paroled in under Unity for Ukraine, CHNV, or Keeping Families Together. And they said, we're going to keep that pause in place until we feel like we've done better vetting. I'm not sure that this is legal. I'm pretty sure it's not legal. I'm pretty sure that USCIS doesn't have the authority to unilaterally pause applications that people paid for, to unilaterally pause applications that Congress has provided by statute for, can unilaterally pause in contrary actions to the regulations. So for all those reasons, we're hoping to challenge this in court. And we like to do it in federal court in either California, Oregon, or Washington State. Federal court in one of those 3 states. So if anybody is in that scenario and could email me, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com, say, I'm someone who got paroled in, I'm married to a U.S. citizen, I'm applying for a green card, or I'm applying for asylum, or I'm applying for a TPS. Those are all the things that people are putting on hold. USCIS is putting on hold. So that's the deal, AJ, and we'll keep you posted on that. Yes, Raphael's got it. Better vetting will take until a Democratic president is elected. Ding, 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 ding. Raphael knows what's what. Let's go to Vic. Vic, are you there? Hello, Vic. You're on mute, Vic. We can't hear you. Hello. All right, we'll clear out Vic. Let's go to Neptune. Hello, Neptune. Neptune, hello. He's not on mute. We can't hear him. Hey, Rizwan, when people keep asking me to come on the show, I don't put them on the show. That's the dirty little secret. I don't do that when people keep bugging everybody in the chat. Pick me, pick me. That's like the last person that I pick. So, all right, let's go to 2Qs. Hello.
Hey, Jim. Thank you for taking the call.
Sure.
I was just wondering, so I was gonna apply for my wife for adjustment of status, but so there were some questions that I was going through a packet, and they were talking about taxes. Last year I went unemployed for a little bit, and then I had gotten a job, but it was under the table. I'm now realizing that I have to go back and try to file those taxes for the sake of what is it? What do you think? It might be moral character and the fact that it was untaxed income. It wasn't reported. How do you think I should go about fixing this?
You're the citizen, right?
Yes.
So your good moral character doesn't really come into it, but you do need the taxes on file so that you can show that you make enough to support your spouse.
Okay. And okay. Well, that sounds good. I'm trying to think of my other question. I'm just a little nervous.
It's a trick. He should have only put 1 Q, but he put 2 Qs. Now he can't remember the second Q. So I was getting ready to file for my wife's 485 or adjustment of status. I had a question about the taxes. What was the other question about?
The other question was about so we don't have much like joint bank statements, and we don't have a lot of bills together because we live with my mom.
Yep.
I wanted to know if that was going to be a problem or how to save that problem before we go ahead and file.
Are you already married?
Yes.
How long have you been married?
I would say 3 weeks now.
Oh, 3 weeks. Does your spouse have a social security number?
I don't believe so, no.
What was their status before you got married? Were they out of status?
They were out of status on a B1, B2 visa. And also, okay, my other question was they didn't have to put an address when they came into Puerto Rico, because that's where they came in for a modeling event. Does she have to update her address if she never had to give them an address she was staying at? Because I think she was just staying at hotels and stuff while the event was going on.
No, I would just treat it as the address is the address you use when you file.
Okay, and then the
You're
name
gonna
change.
how long have you known each other?
I would say 8 months now.
So you need to document the shit out of those 8 months, and you have to understand that they will they will understand that you don't have a lot of stuff now, but once you get her social security number, they're going to want you to start using that bank account, opening a joint bank account and using it.
Okay, got it. And then for the marriage certificate, we went ahead and changed her last name to my last name. Is that going to be a problem as long as it shows both?
No, I generally tell people wait to do that till later, but it's fine. It's not a big deal.
Okay, thank you, Jim. I appreciate you.
Bye, buddy. Have a good day. All right. I told you guys the other day that something came in the mail. D's nuts. No, not D's nuts. As much as I wish it was D's nuts. Got a little package from YouTube. I thought I'd show it to you guys. There it is. Let's open it up. This is not an official unboxing because Nora already opened it and ran around the house with it. But we did get our 100,000 subscribers silver YouTube button. There's the camera. Can you see the screen? How about that? Pretty cool, huh? Thank you guys for that. Thank you for the help. Thank you for supporting the show. Thanks for spreading the word. Pretty exciting. Next stop, 1 million. But there it is, the silver play button. That's a lot of work, a lot of videos. I'll show you guys on TikTok too. There it is. There's me. I like the mirror in the middle. That's sort of neat. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I showed TikTok too. There you go, guys. All right. So next stop. Well, actually on TikTok, we're at 155,000. It's crazy. That only took like 2 years. So thanks everybody for the support. All right. Let's go back to TikTok. This is from Ash. Adjustment of status overstay. How likely is the chance of me getting a green card? If the adjustment of status is based on marriage to a U.S. citizen, I would say the likelihood is very high as long as you didn't lie or make a false claim to citizenship. Siri 77. I will go to Albania in the summer, but I have a 10-year green card. Is it going to be a problem or not coming back? It shouldn't be. TT2. Do I have to stop working if I have to refile an I-45 again after I've received a work permit? The law says that you should stop working if your work permit is no longer valid. Rick asks, can ICE agents detain people at fingerprint appointments? Yes, they can. Life of Abby K. My spouse has a pending I-130 and an I-45, and their HHP, I would imagine that's Haitian Humanitarian Parole, expires in April. Will they still be legal? Well, it depends on who's making the decisions. The Trump people would say no. After a motion to terminate is accepted, will the court transfer me to USCIS to adjust status? That's the hope, Nora, but it's very, very hard to get them to actually do it. You got to bug the shit out of everybody to get them to actually do that. All right. Here we go. Xavier just subscribed. Thank you, Xavier. We appreciate that. Welcome everybody here. Thanks everybody for the silver play button love. I appreciate it. Let's go to Delvso. Hello, Delvso. Hello, Delvso. I don't know what's with everybody getting in the waiting room and then not being here when it's time to call. All right. Let's go to, I gave Razi a hard time. Hello, Razi. What you got for me?
Thank you, Jim, for having me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I have a question. First of all, is it safe to travel on OPT? It's already approved. You have an offer letter, but you were out of country before Trump administration. So is it safe to come back?
Hurry up. Should have come back a long time ago.
Yes, I had a brother's wedding. Second question. I spoke to you back in 2024. I had a hard time in my marriage. My green card was approved without interview. I had sent to the USCIS an update that we are living separately now. My wife moved to Colombia with her grandma. She don't want to live with me no more. And after that, I sent this notification in early April. They approved my green card late April, and in May I received it. And then I applied for citizenship, I think October the 2nd. And like a week ago, I saw an update on USCIS account saying that USCIS has received correspondence and they are reviewing it. You don't have to do anything. We will let you know if you need anything from you on my I-751, which is already approved. So should I be worried or what should I do?
Did you apply under the 3-year rule or the 5-year rule?
5-year.
Okay. And they receive correspondence? That could be from anybody, right?
Yes, but it's not from my previous wife. I asked her that question.
Okay. So you're just worried, like you're just trying to guess what's in the correspondence?
Yes, and I'm figuring that it might be the letter that I sent them in early April, and that is not current maybe on my case, and they're just reviewing it right now or something. That is what my hope is.
I think you drive yourself crazy trying to guess what it is. So I would just sit tight and wait and see what happens. There's just no way to predict what it is or what that means. And I think you're probably right. I think that is exactly what it is.
Okay. And if I, like my interview for the citizenship comes in, do I mention that? Or if they ask me, I should be just prepared with the evidence that I have from marriage and everything?
If they ask you, what do you mean if they ask you what?
That you sent this correspondence and questions around that.
I don't understand the question. I'm sorry.
So I sent them like copy of the divorce decree that was finalized.
Yeah.
And then they would ask me, for example, okay, why would, you were divorced and everything, and you had applied as a joint petition. And now since you're divorced, we approved your green card, but your divorce happened before the approval.
Oh, so you're saying that you're talking about your 751 now.
Yes, 751 was approved after the divorce was finalized.
And did you notify them of the divorce before the 751 was approved or after?
Yes, before. I have notified them in early April. They approved it in May.
You have proof of delivery?
Yes, I have proof of delivery.
I don't think you should go to your interview without a lawyer. I think they're going to give you a really hard time.
Okay. And if I talk to my lawyer, and in evidence type, what kind of evidences should be on top of the list?
Well, you got to know your timeline, and I think they're going to say, I think you have to be ready for the argument that they're going to say your 751 shouldn't have been approved because it was filed jointly and approved after. Was the divorce final when you notified them, or was the divorce just on file when you notified them?
It got finalized. Yes, it was final.
Before the 751 got approved?
Yes.
So based on what I've been seeing lately, I think they're going to take the position that 751 shouldn't have been granted, and they're going to make you file a new 751, and they're going to deny your citizenship. That's what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
In the last 2 weeks, I've seen citizenship cases where USCIS takes the position that they gave the green card either conditional or original, a conditional or 10-year incorrectly, and that therefore you got to sort of start over. They've been doing that more and more lately, so I think that might be what you get.
Okay, so that means I have to reapply and wait another couple or 3 years maybe again for the I-751.
Yep.
Damn.
Maybe not, but that's what I think might happen.
Okay, but I should take the lawyer with me, right?
There's no way in hell you should go into that place without a lawyer who knows exactly what they're doing.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jim. That was my question. I appreciate it.
See you, buddy. All right. Natalie, if you turn off your camera, I will pull you up next. All right, here's Natalie. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks so much. All right, I have a question. So I married my husband who's from Venezuela in September of 2023. And we filed the I-485 application with a lawyer locally in May of 24. And we did, we submitted everything we needed and lots of photos and all the stuff, the rest of his family, his immediate family, they're all here from Venezuela, on TPS, having been on TPS. So they were all, they're all like in status. Right. And so she told us, the marriage cases I've done in the last couple of years, the work permit's been showing up in less than 60 days and blah, 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 blah. And then it didn't show up, and it had been like 4 months. And I started getting concerned. And then in October, the I-485 was denied, and
Right.
the work permit too. And it said because his birth certificate was never sent, even after sending us an RFE. And so she received also the RFE. And, we paid a lawyer because assuming that they cross their T's and dot their I's, and she never sent his birth certificate along with everything else. And so we got denied there. Okay. So it's like a really horrible, powerless feeling, right?
You said that was a lawyer that did that?
A lawyer. Yeah. The lawyer did it. The lawyer.
You're sure they're a lawyer?
So she's okay. So the lawyer at the lawyer's office is the one who signs off on everything, but she's the head of immigration at that law office. Okay.
There's this law firm that there's a law firm that you hired to help you with this.
Yes. So I paid them like $3,000, and then plus we paid the government all the fees we had to pay. Right.
So you got a request for evidence, and you actually received the request for evidence. You knew about it.
So I didn't know about it. I mean, meaning they had sent it to me too, and also on it had said also the affidavit that says I'm willing to to provide for him or whatever, which my income was enough, and I teach. Anyways, I teach English at a local university, and so I make like $62K, not a ton of money, but it's enough. It was enough for both of us, right? But it's hard to provide for two people on that salary. You know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
So I was like, so when we got the RFE, I didn't even pay. This is where it's my fault. My mom says it's my fault. She yelled at me about this, but she said, you should have paid attention to the RFE that said that you needed the affidavit signed. And then secondly, his birth certificate was technically missing. But in my head, when she called me to say, I need you to come in to sign the affidavit, and that was it, it was like, in my head, I didn't even pay attention to the letter we had received because she also received the letter. So technically in my head, I'm like, that's her job. We're paying her to make sure she crosses her T's and dots her I's, if that makes sense.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So she messed up. Right. Okay. So what can I do? I'm powerless, right? So we refiled the whole thing again. Okay. We refiled the whole thing. And so we got the rejection in October. And then we refiled the whole thing in early November.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
A couple questions.
Sure.
Did they approve the I-130?
They approved it, the I-130 in November.
And did the lawyer pay for you to refile? Did you have to pay the lawyer again to refile, or did they do it for free?
They refiled for free, but we had to pay those government fees again. Okay.
What did the lawyer say about the birth certificate?
She said, here's I don't forget because it's a word that I never use. She said, oh, it was my gaffe. Like her error, you know what I mean? Yes. And that was it. And I didn't make, I wanted to, of course, I was so upset and I wanted to make a big, huge thing out of it, but I didn't make a big, huge thing because I'm powerless here. I need to get my husband in status,
Yes, ma'am.
So I was like, I'll write a review or do whatever I can after I get his stuff. But right now I just need him to get his work permit,
Sure.
So that's where we are. So it was officially refiled the second time on November 8th. Everything. But there's been, now it's like 108 days and there's nothing, all we want is like, I don't need his green card, blah, blah, blah. The only thing we want is his work permit so he can start working legally. That's it,
So Natalie, he was paroled into the United States under one of Biden's Venezuela parole programs, right?
He came from Spain legally with a visa.
Oh.
The visa ended up expiring. And so
when did he enter the United States?
He entered December 2022.
Okay. So make sure he's carrying proof that he's been here since then around with him.
Yeah, he does have that. He does have that now. Yeah, for sure. Let me tell you, he's like the most honest, responsible person who's crosses his T's and dots his I's. And it's we're doing this like the best we know how, it's new for me too, obviously, right?
So he had So when you submitted the case the first time, I'm unclear. Was it that you filed an I-864 that was unsigned, or you didn't file an I-864 at all?
What's the I-64 again?
Affidavit of support.
The affidavit. Yes. So the day she filed it because we didn't file it. Her office did.
Yeah.
It says that it was missing. The government says it was missing. So it means that it was one of the forms, I guess, the law office forgot to include. So when they sent the RFE, I ran into the office when she called me and I signed it and she sent it over and it was perfect. It was approved. But the thing they said they never received was his birth certificate, which was also listed on the RFE. So that was my fault, technically, because I should have noticed that when they sent the letter. But I just figured that my lawyer was handling it all,
Did they ever send a notice of intent to deny?
Not to either of us. No, I believe they did not send us a notice intent to deny.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, I was on the Reddit, the USCIS Reddits, and reading about all this stuff.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Okay. And I saw people mention, typically they'll send you a notice with an intent to deny. And we didn't get that notice, but we did get an RFE. And in the denial, they told us that it was exactly because his birth certificate was not included, and they approved our I-130 though, our marriage, right? It was enough proof, but we sent more and more when we filed again. Okay.
If you had an interview, what field office would have your interview?
I don't know. We haven't been asked for an interview yet. We've been in nothing. They haven't given us any updates since we filed on November 8th. I don't know what field office. We live in Indianapolis.
That's what I wanted to know. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I live in Indianapolis.
The denial notice was what day?
November 8th. And so it's 108 days with nothing for his work permit. So I actually emailed our senator yesterday, and they've told me email this and this and this in this form that we could reach out on your behalf. But this doesn't mean anything, of course. But I just felt desperate now, and I'm just like.
So I would have done things a little bit differently if you had called me on November 9th.
I didn't know.
Okay. I didn't know. It's okay. If you had called me on November 9th, what I would say is I would sue USCIS in federal court and say they didn't file their regulations. The regulations say they have to send you a notice of intent to deny before they deny the case. And when they don't follow the rules, get it set aside.
Okay. When I say I don't think we got a notice of intent to deny, I will say I'm for certain we didn't get one in the mail, us. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe the lawyer got one. But when we look at the files online, there's never been a notice for intent to deny that was sent, it looks like,
So we could, you've obviously got a lot invested in filing the new case.
Sure.
But I think if we sued them, they would probably reopen the old case and give you the chance to provide the birth certificate. Do you have the birth certificate that they want?
Yes, a perfect one. It's exactly what they need, the kind that they need,
So I think what I might do is I might sue them in court in Indiana, and then if we fix it, then send the bill for me to sue them to your lawyer and say, hey, this guy fixed your fuck up.
That's why I was thinking, because we're now in the hole, the lawyer's fees doubled, right? So it's I don't know what that is, about $5,000 or so. Not the lawyer's fee, sorry, the government fees filed twice. Yeah. Yep. And so I'm like, how, I would certainly love to do this any other way you think is better, I just feel powerless. So I don't know what your suggestion would be now.
Well, I'd like to sue them within 30 days, but there isn't a rule that says you have to sue them within 30 days. You can sue them beyond 30 days. There's not a rule that says you have to.
Sure.
And we've sued that field office in Indiana before. So if you want to try that, it's not cheap. It's $5,500 plus the filing fees, $405. So it's $6,000.
Okay.
But I think it would get solved in a month or two.
It'll be $6,000 for you guys to do that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That feels so much money. I want to, but I need to do this, Yeah. So I'm wondering.
But just so you know, he's back. Did you get receipt notices back on the 485?
The receipt of 485?
With the second 485, did you get a receipt notice?
Yeah, we have the receipt notice and all
So
that.
he's back in status.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
He's
We're
not
just
subject to deportation tomorrow or anything like that. Like,
oh, okay.
so
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Because he's afraid. I mean, everyone's afraid right now. Of
course. But he's been here for more than 2 years, so he's not subject to expedited removal. He has a valid entry into the United States, so he doesn't even have to worry about Trump's attack on Venezuelan parole because he has on the visa. So he's actually sitting pretty. You just have to be patient
for that work permit
and the green card.
Okay, I know that we want the green card, but we're like dying for the work permit so that we could start. We have like family planning stuff and blah blah blah. We're trying to do,
Sure.
And I'm in my late 30s, and it's just like been rough in that regard. So, my only question is, do you think the senator reaching out to the senator could possibly be helpful or not at 108 days or no? Okay.
In USCIS's mind, you have a 3-month-old case.
Right. Okay. If we wanted to reach out to you, we could just reach out to you via online.
Hey, me, Natalie, I was on the show, and just send an email, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. It's on the bottom of the screen.
Okay. I really, really appreciate that.
Good luck, Natalie.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye, kid. All right. That was Natalie. Let's see if we got any more TikTokers. Hina, there she is. Can I travel to Puerto Rico with my Social Security number and EAD card pending I-130? I would not do that. Heidi Benitez, how difficult is it to be granted green card through EB3 with DACA? DACA, unless you had DACA before you turned 18, most likely will not be a bridge, and you will not be able to get a green card through EB3. DACA is not status. DACA is we're not deporting you and we're letting you have a work card. That's all it is. It's not status. I've done my biometrics. I have my Social Security number and my EID with real ID. Does this make me legal? Depends when you entered. Lucretia, 2 years or not 2 years. Green card holder spouse, but fell out of F1 yesterday while I-45 is pending. Could be a risk. Could be. Should be okay as long as you're in status at the time. But that I would have done everything humanly possible, and I would still today do whatever I can to get my F1 visa back in status. Doctor Strange, my oath ceremony is in April. Did you guys know Doctor Strange is becoming a citizen? I think all the Avengers should become citizens. My oath ceremony is in April. Can I travel to my home country and be back before the ceremony? I would not do that. Abraham, average time from DACA with legal entry in file to marriage-based green card processing times. I'd say 12 to 18 months. Depends where you live. Depends on how busy where you live is. All right. Let's do one more call, and we're going to go to Real Name. Hello, Real Name.
Hey, Jim. I have just 3 quick questions about the N400. I'm getting ready to apply for myself and my family. First, I have a traffic stop about 2 years ago that ended in the morning. My brother has a few. One of them, I think, has a citation. Do I need to include those in the N400?
A warning you don't have to list on a N400. Did you say something about your brother?
Yes. He has a citation, a stop with a citation.
You're saying I'm applying for citizenship. Do I have to list my brother's ticket on my case?
No, not on my case. I'm applying for my family, so there's my application. There's also my brother's application. In his case, do you think I should include it on his N400?
I just made a TikTok about this yesterday. A traffic ticket is a citation, so the answer to that question is yes, and you need proof that it's been taken care of.
Okay, and then the other thing is, you earlier mentioned that it's not a good idea to change your name during the immigration process. Does that also go for the N400?
No,
because there's an option to change my name.
That's when you do it. That's when you do it. It's free.
Okay.
It's easy. Yep. Do it then.
Okay, and the last thing is, we all have our birth certificates. They're in Arabic. They can be translated. My question is, do those also need to be uploaded as part of the N400?
Absolutely, yes.
They do. Okay. That's all. Thank you very much.
It has to be certified. My name is Jim. I'm fluent in Arabic and English, and the following translation is a true and correct translation of Abdullah's birth certificate.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. See ya. Nurse Laura's bringing up my favorite story ever, which is when my little short client who looked like looked like a yard gnome, or what are those things called? Those little furry characters with the hair that went like that. His beard went like that. What were those things called? Not Teletubbies, but like, I don't know what those things were called. He said he wanted to change his Trolls. Yes, Trolls. Thank you, Hina. He wanted to change his name to John Connor because he loved the Terminator. Neptune, if you turn off your camera, I'll pull you up since I missed you earlier. All right. Neptune's ready. Unmute it.
Yes, sir.
Go for it.
I'm already in contact with the Senate office. I called them and I told them I was gonna be ready by February to set up my case for my green card. I'm ready right now, but the thing is, I was going to a video and I find something that I wanted to ask a question about before I contact you guys. It was about because I'm being in the U.S. and I'm a U.S. citizen. But the thing is, she was in school technically. She wasn't working. I mean, she was working like part time, but I was wondering like when it comes to the support part, like will that be a problem?
Well, she probably needs a co-sponsor.
Oh, okay.
You have to make like 31,000 in each of the last 3 tax years on your adjusted gross income with no dependents, like 31,000. Then if you have any dependents, you add about 5,500 to each for each person.
So can this sponsor be on my side of the family, or you got to be on her side?
No, it can be on your side as long as they're a green card holder or a U.S. citizen.
Oh, okay. Because I thought at first because me I'm on the asylum, so I'm a truck driver, so I kind of make a little bit over 100. So I thought I was gonna be enough, but and I watching the video, and I remember you say it doesn't matter how much you make, your
That's
spouse
right.
still have to be able to support you.
That's right.
Okay, I just wanted to know if my own family side can be my sponsor.
They
Because I'm
can.
ready. I'll contact the office then because I'm ready for my case. I got my filing fee and the lawyer fee ready.
Good luck, Neptune. See you, bud.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. All right. That'll do it for today's show. Thank you, Hina. Thank you, everybody on TikTok. We'll be back tomorrow. What time tomorrow? 10 a.m. early morning, Tuesday morning show, 10 a.m. Remember, this is the last week before Ramadan, so we'll see how many shows I'm going to do during Ramadan. I probably won't do one every day, but we shall see. I hope you all have a great night. We'll be back tomorrow for episode 770. Boy, we're trucking on to episode 800. We should hit that during Ramadan, I would think. Hope you guys all have a great night. Thanks, Tony. Thanks, everybody. Big up to all the Yardies. Peace out. Bye, guys. I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.